Hey y'all, welcome back to what I'm on today. Today I have an unboxing, so stay tuned.
Remind me of 12th grade, remind me of young shade, feel like a new shoe, remind me of old games, taste like an ice cold, taste like a mango, feel like some new socks, taste like an angel, she look like a Badu.
Hey y'all, welcome back to what I'm on today. My name is Lakia Chanel, and I make videos about all things handbags, both luxury and contemporary, because you guys already know that I do not discriminate. So, today, I am going to be unboxing, I'm sure you guys saw in the title, my new Hermes Birkin in the size 35. So, there's going to be a little story time all throughout. So I'll try to put like things on the videos so that you guys can just jump to the bag if you want to see it. But I feel like all of this research that I have done, getting my Buti bags and kind of that journey and finding that organization to do that, you know, getting my Ralph Lauren Ricky bag, kind of prepared me for the Hermes Birkin. And so if you guys remember, I really was interested in those bags particularly because I wanted to see if I was going to get a Birkin or not, if I were going to get it through, you know, the Hermes store, if I was going to go pre-loved, and I wasn't sure. I was not interested in kind of spending the type of money that was going to be required, right? So, me, myself, I know myself, like, I think I did a video a little while ago that was kind of like the alternative bags that I purchased because the original was too expensive. And for some of those things, the, you know, alternative was amazing and I never thought about the original again. And for some of them, I ended up still getting the original, right? And so in this case, I felt like I wanted to see it. I wanted to see it. I've never seen one really in the wild, with the exception of actually going to the Hermes store when I was in Toronto. They actually had a Birkin 25 on display. I've been to, you know, my local Hermes in the DC area, which they never have any bags to display. And then I was also in Lisbon, and they were a very small location, so they did not have any bags to display either. So I just kind of wanted to see it, and I said, hey, look, worst case scenario, if I don't love it, I can send it back. So this is going to be like, part of it is going to be like my, you know, unboxing, if you will. You guys know how I do unboxings. I'm going to do the unboxing, and then also I've had this long enough to give my first impression. So by the time this video comes out, I will have had this bag for probably about 1 or 2 months. But real time, I've probably had this bag for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I feel like it's enough time for me to be able to give you guys my actual first reactions of the bag as well. So be prepared, like, stop the video right now, get a snack. I already feel like this is going to be super long-winded, okay? So let's just get into like the unboxing of the bag. So I'm going to unbox it, and then I'm going to kind of tell you guys a story, and then I will like bring out the bag. So I was in Toronto Hermes, hoping like, okay, maybe I can just get a bag. No, they didn't have time for that. You know, the bags were reserved for their customers, and I wasn't staying long enough to be presented anything either. So that was my luck in Toronto, right? So I had this bag in my cart on Rebag for probably the better part of a month, and it was the Birkin in the size 35 that I actually purchased. And so I'm going to show you pictures of the Birkin 35, and so it was listed in fair condition, but I just did not know why it was in fair condition, because it looked amazing. And it did say that there were some touch-ups done to the corners and to the handles, right? And so I'm like, all right, maybe that's why it was in fair condition. So I ended up learning about, I will put the YouTuber below who's gotten a bunch of bags off of Rebag via eBay. So, and I'll do a whole nother video on my experience there. So I had seen the bag too on eBay, and eBay had a special, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. I had seen the bag as well on eBay. So with Rebag, if something is part of their, they call it their outlet. So this was an outlet bag. I'm not sure why it was outlet, because I've seen other bags that are on their outlet that are in excellent condition or good condition. So I wasn't sure if it was based on condition or maybe it's just based on like how long it's been on the site, right? But either way, that was a final sale bag. And so most of Rebag's bags, you can always return them, but if it is part of their outlet, then you cannot return it. And so Rouge de Pour is like one of my favorite Hermes colors, you know, on the internet, because I've never obviously seen it in person, right? So it's one of the best Hermes colors that I've seen on the internet, and probably for about the last, you know, year or so, I'm just always attracted to that. Like whenever I put an Hermes bag in my cart, you know, on Fashion File or Rebag, it's always the Rouge de Pour. And so I saw this bag, realized that it's probably going to take me a really long time based on my experiences thus far to get a bag in store. And I said to myself, well, if I'm going to get a bag, it's going to be, if I'm going to get a bag that is pre-loved, you know, the two places that I trust are Rebag and Fashion File. It's going to be from one of those places, right? And it just has to be, all the things have to line up, right? It's got to be under retail, which is hard in itself. And it's got to be in really good condition. And then it also has to be like the colorway that I want it to be in, right? So I was open to like a 30 or 35. Remember guys, I've never seen either one of these sizes in person, so I had no idea. You can watch as many videos as you can, but it's very difficult to determine if something is going to be good for you or not based on that. So I ended up having this in the 35 on Rebag, and Rebag had given me like a 5% discount on anything at the time. And so I was like, okay, this is like the time to do it. Like I'm going to be able to like basically not have to pay tax on this bag because, you know, the 5% basically covers the taxes for my state. So the only thing that I was concerned about was that I was not going to be able to return the bag. And I like to be able to return anything that I may or may not like. I'm not naturally a final sale girl unless I've just been there before, done it before. You know what I mean? Like I just know what it is. Like J. Crew, I'm going to be a final sale girl because I know my size in J. Crew. I know what I like. I know how their stuff fits my body. So I already know when I'm selecting something, it's going to work for me. So anyways, reached out to Rebag, asked them for additional pictures because I'm like, hey, look, I see this bag. It says it's in fair condition. It looks immaculate. Like it looks amazing. What is wrong with it? And she said, hey, look, hold on really quickly. And she sent me, she said, these are the pictures of the bag when it first came in. And they're not like any, you know, they're not professional photos. And she showed me, it looked amazing. The only thing that I could see was like on the four corners were like these a little teeny like dark mark. And I'm like, I'm not even tripping on that. Okay, great. So I ended up the next day, because I said, you know what, if it's meant for me to have it, it will still be available for me the next day, right? Because this is a big purchase. And so the next day she was available for me, and I got it through eBay. I got it through eBay because eBay had because Rebag is part of, you know, they sell their things on eBay. They just have an overall return policy on eBay, and it's 14 days specifically for Rebag. So I purchased my bag on eBay because I wanted to be able to return it if there was anything weird with it, right? So I'll tell you about the experience with eBay and the authentication and all that stuff, you know, at a later time, right? But that's how I acquired the bag. I paid $8,300 for this bag, which to me was like a steal. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is totally my bag, because the retail price for this bag, I will put it down below. The size 35, I think is, I want to say like $11,000 or $12,000. So this was well under retail in amazing condition. Here is the bag. So I have altered the bag a little bit because I have put these silk twillies on the bag. So when I first opened up the bag, I will be honest with you. I literally said to my husband, like, oh, okay. It's a leather bag. All right, it's a leather bag. And I don't know, I feel like it's always so hyped up in the handbag community. And so I don't know what I expected of the bag. I don't know what I expected of the bag. And I honestly think that because I had the experience that I had with my Buti bag, being able to customize it and like seeing it for the first time, I'm like, holy crap, this bag is just amazingly gorgeous. And then having the experience with my Ralph Lauren Ricky bag and it just being amazingly gorgeous. I think that I had already had like a lot of like experiences with similar style bags. I think that when I saw this bag, and again, it's a beautiful bag, I just wasn't like wowed. And maybe it was because, again, it's so hyped up. But also, I think it's because I've done research and I've kind of like looked at other brands. And not that one brand is better than the other brands. It's just that I was just like, okay, all right, it's a leather bag. And it's a well-made leather bag. And the little things on the bottom that I mentioned, the little dark spots on the bottom, like literally just like water got them off. So there's like literally no signs of wear at all on this bag other than it being a little bit slouchy. And I'm going to walk you guys around the bag. I have an organizer in this bag that I got from Amazon. I'll put that information below. I also have these silk twillies on the bag as well that I got from Amazon. I was going to get them from Hermes, but then I was like, why am I going to spend $400 on some silk twillies? Which I may, but these are silk twillies that I got for not that much. So the bag is a great bag. It's a beautiful bag. Love the color. I have been wearing this a ton because I needed to get myself acclimated to it. So I cut the tags off maybe like a week after I got it. And it wasn't that I was going to take it back. I knew that I was not going to be returning it because the price for this bag in this condition was just outrageous. Like there was no way I was returning this bag. And I've literally been looking for bags in this condition for around that range, you know, $5,000 to $8,000. Impossible. Have not seen them at all. So this is, you know, a great bag. But anyways, I will be honest that I wasn't super wowed. And I think I wasn't super wowed because I had other things that were kind of that similar style that I loved. And I just assumed that this was going to just be this ray of sunshine and amazingness that I've never seen before. But it's actually a leather bag, guys. It's a great leather bag. But also, it's a leather bag. It didn't have any sparkles or anything. It was a leather bag. So, I have this bag in the Clement leather in the size 35. So, I'm going to show you guys some pictures. I've been wearing this thing all over the place. I am, for your knowledge, about 5'5.5"-ish. And this bag to me is not too big at all. I know I've seen so many reviews of being like, oh my God, this is such a heavy bag. It's not for me. It's too big. This is my whole vibe. Like this is how the bag is looking. This size, when I opened up the box too, I think I thought that it was going to be like really big because everybody's always talking about how big it is. But it wasn't that big. So when I opened it up, I was like, oh, I thought this was going to be like so much bigger. So I think the 30 almost feels too small based on the bigger bags that I have been wearing. So this is the Birkin 35 compared to my Buti 33 bag. And I think that's why I'm like, okay, this is not that large at all. And I think that the Buti bag is still heavier than my Birkin 35, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's because it's all the leather and the suede. And this is the Clement's leather and whatever leather is inside. And this is what it looks like on the inside of the bag. It's still that one pocket. You have your zip pocket here. More than likely, I won't be using any of those pockets because I will be using my organizer and throwing everything in the organizer. After using this bag for a couple of weeks, how has my mind changed? I would say a lot. I like this bag a lot, and I find myself searching for other Birkins in the size 35. And so I would say that it has definitely grown on me. And grown on me is like a harsh word. I feel like for when you're spending like $8,000 on a bag, you don't want it to grow on you. But I'm just saying that it grew on me because I had similar bags in my collection. Where I think the process was like a little bit more exciting, and the process for this was not exciting because this is like literally the colorway and the condition that I would want to purchase a Birkin in. And by the way, it was well below retail, which is like yes all day. But I don't know, I think I just overhyped myself up about it, or YouTube has overhyped me about it, but obviously it's my interpretation of that. It was just so hyped that, you know, I had to be reminded that this is just like a whole leather bag. So this is the bag. This is the year, I'll put the right year below. It is the year, I think it's 2012 is when this bag came out, and it is in this amazing condition. So I'll have some other like B-roll shots of, you know, just the bag. Obviously you guys will be able to see what it looked like when I got it, you know, closing the flap up and kind of all those things. I haven't really closed the flap since I got it. Maybe the first couple times I was wearing it, I was trying to see like what was going to be the vibe, but this is the vibe. It's super easy. You just throw everything in there, and it's been fun playing with it as well. And the leather on the bag is pretty nice leather. It's squishy leather as well, because this is the Clemence leather. To me, it's definitely not too heavy at all. Like, I've literally been carrying this all the time, and I carry my Buti bag all the time as well. So yeah, I have been definitely wanting to carry this bag a lot, which is a good thing, which makes me think I might get another one. And between this bag, my two Buti bags, those have basically been the three bags that have been in rotation over the past like couple of weeks, like in the real rotation over the past couple of weeks. Like, I'm usually just choosing one of those three bags because they pretty much go with everything. So this is an overview of my new Birkin in the size 35. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys, it has palladium hardware. It came with everything, with the lock, which I have in the bag, stored in the bag, and then the clochette with the keys. They actually do indeed work. It has feet at the bottom. You guys have seen these before. I showed you guys, you know, the inside of the bag, which is just this like amazingly large hole of greatness. And then I like to have the organizer in here. With the organizer, you know, it's definitely a lot wider, so it is, you know, it doesn't really stay cinched in. With the organizer, it doesn't stay like this, because, you know, by the time you open it up, these things are going to be, these little straps are going to be all, you know, widened out. So, but I don't mind it. I embrace it. It's cute. So anyways, this was so long-winded. It was super chatty, but this is the Birkin 30. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would recommend this bag. Is it my holy grail of bags? I don't know. Now, this color is everything. This color is stunning. It is a well-made bag. Like, let's be honest. This bag is over 10 years old and looks this delicious. And I was thinking to myself, like, what other, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got a couple bags that are 10 years old that are holding up. So this is a well-made bag, definitely in that vein. So yeah, I would recommend the bag. I would just, I guess I'm just like, I don't recommend the hypiness of it. I don't recommend it having to be your end all be all grail of all things. I think that there are other brands with really nice leather that make good bags as well. But this is like a really cool bag to have. Like, it's a great tote bag if you were into leather tote bags. And really, they do color really well, like in really vibrant colors. Like, yeah, this is like totally a vibe. So that's it. That is my long-winded overview, story time, all that of my Birkin 35. The bag is great. She's staying in the collection. She's being worn a ton. I do want to do a comparison of my Birkin 35 with my Buti bag and my Ralph Lauren Ricky bag, and also the Coach Rogue in the size 30. I'm going to do that video. It's been in my brain to compare like all of those bags so that you guys can see at different price points, you know, the type of bags that are super similar. Because you guys know I'm all about that, right? I'm all about getting something similar that has the same feel. So anyway, that video will be coming up. Thank you guys again for tuning in for another Saturday here with me. Comment below if you have any questions. I'm going to have another video that's going to come out fairly soon about the experience of buying with Rebag and through the eBay authentication process. So I will give you my experience on that so that you guys can see that as well. And if you have any other questions about the bag or just anything, I feel like, sorry, I know I'm being super long-winded, but I do feel like, you know, I want to give y'all all the information possible, especially if you are considering an Hermes Birkin bag, specifically in the size 35. I want to give you all the information because I feel like you can only get so much information until you actually see and touch the bag. But if I can give you everything that I've experienced and all of the information before, you know, you can actually see the bag, I would absolutely love to. So anyways, thanks again, guys. I will see you guys next week. Bye.